you have some other examples of better ways to ask questions in a CX program?
Sure. There's a few others. Let's talk about fees. So everybody will ask about fees. How satisfied are you with the fees? And that's the wrong question to ask. Um, because if you say, hey, do you want to pay a fee? Yes or no? Of course, the answer is going to be no. So what you need to do is you need to ask, rate your value for fees. What is the value that you get? How happy are you with the value that you get? Because having done this across many different banks, um, there's been situations where I've actually advised banks don't lower your fees. And that's because the customers themselves will say, hey, I'm getting great values for the fees. You're always going to get complaints about the fees. Just to be clear, the two most common complaints that you're going to get from your customers, and this is true for every institution, are fees and technology. Oh, didn't like paying that overdraft fee or the monthly checking fee or something like that. You're going to get complaints about that. Do people then leave because of that? Not very much. The other thing that people complain about is technology. So, I can't do this on the mobile app. I can't do that on the online tools. So they're going to complain about that. But back to fees. So you got to keep in mind that you can charge your customers $1 million a month. You can do that. And they'll be happy to pay it if they are getting $2 million a month in value. So it's all about the value. It's not about the amount of fees. Because on the other hand, if you give them no value and charge them $1 a month, they're going to think you're overcharging, and they're going to be unhappy. So that might lead them to be less happy, less loyal, and more likely to leave. So it's not about the fees; it's about the value provided. Let me give you an example. I was working with a credit union that that they'd gotten a few complaints about their fees, through social media or word of mouth and stuff like that. But luckily, they're doing a customer experience program. And they asked their members, not the customers, I guess a member experience program, how happy are you with the value for the fees we charge? And their members were extremely happy. They were like one of the best in their market. And so not only did they not reduce their fees, they said, okay, wow, okay, we've gotten a few complaints, but we're not going to reduce our fees because, over 95% were really happy with the value for our fees. So we knew that those were really extreme outliers. So not only did they not reduce their fees, but they also tightened up some of their forgiveness protocols to stop forgiving so many fees. And over time, that had zero impact on their on their member loyalty. And then we did a calculation that saved them $1 million a year. So they were about to give money back to their members that they didn't need to give back. And they changed that and were able to make $1 million a year just because of their customer experience or member experience program in this case, told them what was the reality instead of going by a bunch of anecdotes. And I tell you what, if you can take that kind of data, that kind of unambiguously accurate customer data, and show it to the CEO and the CFO, hey, we don't need to lower our fees. We don't need to spend on this. And here's $1 million to the bottom line. You know what? The CFO and the CEO are going to want to kiss you or at least give you a big bonus.
Yeah, we see the same thing here. I mean, people don't really doubt the price tag when you can demonstrate the value.